Hi there, I'm Wendy from So Wendyful, and I bring you snippets from my stitchery. Well, today the snippets are coming from our very first camper van holiday. We're taking our newly purchased camper van up for its very first run. Myself and my partner and our two dogs, Bertie and Betsy. Now, if you're halfway organised, which is kind of generous for me, you'll write a list before you go so that you don't forget anything when you reach your holiday destination. So I've written a list. I've got the usual paraphernalia, you know, like clothes, shoes, towels, sheets, bedding, food. And because we're adults, wine and beer. And because we're taking the dogs with us, they've got some of their treats as well. Now Bertie is ball obsessed, rubber ball obsessed. This week his favourite ball is a red ball, so that'll come with us. Betsy, on the other hand, actually likes to chew the ears off soft, fluffy toys. So Mr. Giraffe's got no ears. He's also got no legs, so that'll be a favourite for her. And of course for myself, I'm taking my hand stitching kit. So this has got everything I need to baste and to hand sew either hexies or whatever hand sewing project I've got on the go. And I have a new one. This time I'm going to make little Quilt As You Go rectangles. They're quite small. I've fussy cut some beautiful Strawberry Thief fabric. And there's my little kit, which I'll put in a bag. So we've got the Liberty Tana Lawn Strawberry Thief. We've got wadding cut to size, and we've got backing here. Now, I've done one previously, and this is how it turns out. Now, I'd like to make at least 10 of these. I don't think I'm going to get them all done this weekend, but it'd be a good start. And at some point, I will stitch them all together into a something. I don't quite know yet what that might be, but I'll tell you about it at the end. So stay tuned. If you like what you see, please share it with someone else who maybe is Liberty obsessed as I am, or who loves hand stitching. And do subscribe and hit that notification button so that you won't miss the new video that I will do on perhaps what I'm going to make out of them. Thank you again for stopping by and watching. Well, lunch is done and dusted, and I'm sitting outside in my comfy camping chair with my hand sewing kit on my lap and carrying on doing this particular Quilt As You Go mini block. I think it's actually a lovely way to highlight beautiful piece of fabric, because you can fussy cut, and the focus, because there's binding around it, self-binding around it, the focus is actually on the beautiful fabric in between. So I have seen other people put them together in a quilt with other English paper piecing blocks, and perhaps I might do that with these. But in the meantime, I'll just take you through. See, I'm pushing that needle through. It goes through the top, goes through the wadding, but not out the backing at the back. And then I stitch it, bring that needle up in between that binding there. And you'll see that I backtrack. So I'll show you a little bit further on how that actually works, but it does make quite a strong and relatively invisible stitch. I have actually matched the thread, lovely Oracle thread, with the Liberty Tana Lawn in the very pale pink that I got from Alice Caroline at the Birmingham Quilt Festival. Just for this is exactly what I wanted to use it for. So here we are, right at the end of this one, and I'm just finishing that off for you now, and we will take a closer look. And just as I was finishing off, there a couple of New Zealand native birds called pukekos came out of the trees. I'm very glad our dogs didn't see them, otherwise they would have made a big row. So I thought you might like to see me doing the top seam there. I've gone a bit of a close-up and you can see how I push the needle in and then through the wadding, but not out the other side, and then up between the backing, which has been folded over and forms a part of the binding of the rectangle. It's a very soothing thing to do, and it was absolute bliss sitting outside with the sun on me when it came out of the clouds and doing this hand stitching. I just think that was the best of both worlds, going on holiday and taking my hand stitching with me. Right, back from holiday now, back to all the washing and all of that stuff that happens after a breakaway. Now, I only managed to make 3 of them after all that, but here they are. Just put that 3. They're looking quite nice, aren't they? So I love that. I love that colourway, but I love that one. I quite like that one too. Now, I added to the 2 that I had made previously, which was a match for this guy, and then we've got this one here. After all that, I think this one is my favourite. So now I've got 5, halfway to my 10. Make sure you subscribe so you can see what happens when I've done my 10. Am I going to carry on, or am I going to make a little something? But thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you've enjoyed the hand sewing, watching the hand sewing as much as I have actually enjoyed doing it.